Okay, so just a quick review before you get into comma rules 8 through 10 and practicing those. Remember to use a comma when you join two, and hopefully these words are just becoming second nature now, independent clauses with a coordinating conjunction, otherwise known as those fanboys conjunctions. And you place the comma, of course, before. Sometimes people mistakenly putting it after. You place the comma before the conjunction in that type of situation. Use commas before and after an interrupter, and the reason you're using it before and after is, in fact, that it is interrupting a sentence. That is, totally non-essential to the sentence. It is, again, merely interrupting, adding extra information. It is not necessary. Use one comma between two coordinate adjectives, and remember that there are a couple of tests to determine if a pair of adjectives is coordinate or not. You can flip-flop them in your head and see if it still sounds okay. You can put an and between them and see if it still sounds okay. And remember, those are tests. You're not doing that in addition to adding the comma. Often those commas are kind of equally important or synonymous with one another. Make sure that you've read comma rules 8 through 10 as we are working on them in class. And the epic middle school love story continues. So we want to correct the following sentences or identify them as correct as is by either adding commas or adding a conjunction or word to the sentence if it is a comma splice. Bobby thanked Jill for looking out for him on November 22nd, 2019. So you see a date here, and when you have the full month, day, year, you want to put a comma between the day and the year, and that is according to rule number 9C. Bobby learned Jill was kind and sweet, which is more important than being outgoing and popular. And so we see this, the word which, indicating that there just is this addition to the sentence or this add-on or, this kind of shift at the end of the sentence as is indicated in rule number 8. In December 2019, Bobby asked Jill to go to dinner with him. So there's already a comma after the prepositional phrase. It is correct, according to our rules 8 through 10, rule 9B or 9C, I'm sorry, looking at dates, you do not need to put a comma between just the month and the year. Jill was so happy, she spent all day thinking about what to wear. Now you do have a comma splice here. We have one independent clause, two independent clauses, and a comma, but there is no conjunction, no coordinate conjunction after that comma. So again, that is rule number 10, and rule number 10 might indicate to us that we need to add that one of those fanboys conjunctions may be so. Jill was so happy, so she spent all day thinking about what to wear, or and could work there too. Bobby's father, Bill Smith, MD, agreed to drive Bobby and Jill to the restaurant. Just what you want, your father driving you. Well, Bill Smith has a degree, a medical degree, and so we want to put a comma before and after that degree or that title, and that is according to rule number 9D. Jill and Bobby went to Mario's in Beaver, Pennsylvania, the city and state, and so we want to put a comma there according to rule 9A. Jill and Bobby went on their date on Saturday, December 8th, 2019. So here you have, again, a date, as you did 9C in number 1, but you'll notice that the date this time comes with also the day of the week. So you want to put a comma between the day of the week and the month, and you also want a comma between the date and the year. Saturday, December 8th was also the date of Jill's first kiss on the cheek. So again, you want to put the comma between the day of the week and the month, according to 9C again. Jill felt like she could be the Queen of London, England. And so again, you have a location here, 9A. You want to put it between the city and the country. Bobby was really happy too. He was so glad that he had asked out Jill. So You do have a comma splice. We've got independent clause, and a comma joining the two of those. So again, according to rule number 10, we need to do something, to fix this. So let's take a look at what we could do. Bobby was really happy too, comma, he was so happy that he asked out Jill. So to me, instead of maybe adding a coordinate conjunction, maybe Bobby was really happy too. Maybe I take out the comma. Or, yeah, and do a because there instead. Make it, complex sentence instead of compound. Bobby was really happy too because he was so glad that he'd asked out Jill. All right. On Monday, Jill received a note that began, "Dear Jill, I had a really nice time with you." It's a nice touch, okay, getting a note after the date instead of a text. So according to Rule 9b, when you have a salutation like "Dear Jill," you're going to put a comma after the name of the recipient. So go ahead and make sure to kind of indicate your score here. I'd love it to be the score prior to you checking your work, or as you were checking your work, you notice, oh, I missed that one, just so I can get an indication of how well you're understanding this information. Thank you. Don't forget to submit.